Are you an employee, commission, or a rental practitioner? Choosing the right business model for your PMU career, whether you're just starting out or looking to level up your business, understanding the pros and cons of employee, commission, and rental models is crucial for success. Hi, I'm Shareen Adair, a scientist turned permanent makeup artist for the last 18 years, have created several successful businesses, and for the last 10 years, I'm focused on teaching business and PMU skills to artists all around the world. I had to push restart twice with the economy and then the second time with the pandemic. Each time, I only knew better how to start. So if you are an ambitious PMU artist or one in making, I'm here to give you a step-by-step actionable items so you navigate through most common challenges that I've learned through my almost 2 decades of experience. In today's episode, we're diving into the topic of choosing the right business model for your PMU career. So grab your favorite beverage and let's get started. When it comes to running a PMU business, there are three main models to consider: employee, commission, and rental. Each model has its own sets of benefits and challenges, and the right choice really depends on your goals, my friend, your preferences, and your circumstances. So let's dive into the first model, which is the employee model. An employee, by definition, is somebody that is hired or recruited by an organization that has a set schedule, is paid either an hourly rate or a salary. The company is responsible for filing their taxes as an employee to the state if the state is applicable, to the federal as well. The employee has a set rules and schedules to follow. They have a clock in, clock out method. They have lunch breaks, meal rest breaks. And an employee basically is the property of that particular business working under a set guidelines. There's intense paperwork involved, as well as there is performance and appraisals also involved in an employee model. Now let's look at the pros of being an employee. And as an employee, you'll enjoy the stability of a steady paycheck. Benefits such as health insurance and paid time off, and the opportunities to learn and grow under the guidance of an experienced professional. When I had my 9 stores eye candy eye salon in Bay Area, I had over 63 employees, and I found that to be great for business because I could hire people, coach them, guide them, train them, and they got usually training as a part of their employment. And not only that, they were on a set schedule, they came to the shop. So I eliminated a lot of potential disruption that I would have either on a commission based or a rental based. However, that is because I wanted to control the destiny of my business, and I found that employee model was the best for that particular time. Now, there on the flip side, as an employee, my pros, if I was an employee for that business, my pros were that I would have gotten a steady paycheck, I would have gotten insurance, I've gotten all the supplies and tools, I would have received the training, I would have received the client base, I would have received health insurance or benefits by the state, I was under workman comp. So I had basically all the benefits that as an employee I could get to be working in that particular business. If I didn't have a client, I was still getting paid. And that is an employee model. Now, the cons, however, being an employee, I think that limited my earning potential if I was just an employee and my creative freedom, which I actually found later on that most of the reason why I had a turnover because people wanted to be their own bosses and they wanted to go and do what they have learned in the business on their own. So for me, the employee model worked as well as I would say in some situations didn't work. But it was, for me, if I was an employee, I think I would have put my creative freedom aside and I would have just followed what the company has said. Now, if you're an artist, that's really hard to do. You will have less control over your schedule and client interaction. And that is, again, if you are a person who wants to build a clientele, who wants to follow your own schedule, if you've got kids or if you have other school schedules, your schedule is very much dependent on the business that you're employed with. So as an employee, there are some pros and cons, which quite a bit, but there are also cons of it are that people have to follow what the business needs. People cannot get very creative. So again, if you are in that situation, you want to choose either being an employee. Again, it's a path of comfort, but at the same time, it's not a path where you will be earning a lot. The second model is called the commission model. Now, what is commission model? Basically, what commission model mean that you are a contracted individual that will get a piece of a project or a piece of a service as a commission based, or you'll get like either 60-40 split, 60 being yours, 40 being the business, or the other way around, or 50-50 split. In this particular situation, the business cannot dictate your hours. There, you are not provided with insurance. You're not provided with the tax benefits. You do not have paid time off or PTOs or sick time and all that accumulated. So commission model basically is you make a chunk of change because you're working a piece of a service. You're going to get that commission based on the service. You can decide your own schedule. You can show up when you want to show up. You can, or give them a schedule. And at the end of the year, you're responsible for your own taxes. Now, commission model can vary state by state. Some states allow commission models, some states don't. And we're not going to get into that. But shell is that you are going to get a part of that service fee that you have rendered for the business. The business provides you the clientele, and you are responsible for servicing that clientele for that business at a cost per service. Now, the pros in a commission based arrangement, you'll have the flexibility to set your own schedule and work independently while still benefiting from the support and resources of a salon or a studio. You will have the potential to earn higher income based on your performance. So you're going to make more money instead of an hourly wage or a set salary. You're going to make more money based on the services that you take. You'll also have the potential to make your own performance and your own schedule. So you can decide to take time off and whenever and as you please, and the business will mark you as time off without having any repercussions. You can do that. Now, the cons of this is on the flip side, you'll be responsible for covering all your expenses, such as supplies, marketing, insurances, other benefits that the business gives you as an employee. You wouldn't be able to get that. You also face competition from other artists within the same establishment. So, if the company has or a salon or a studio has more commission based artists, then you are also competing amongst them. And the clientele that you bring in or the clientele that the salon gives you, there is really no control on that clientele because that clientele can go to any of the artists. So again, commission based model is like an employee, except you make more money in that position, and you also file for your own taxes. You also buy your own insurance. You also take care of yourself. So if you are considering between an employee and commission, you might as well sit down and crunch some numbers to figure that out. The next model is called the rental model. Now, a rental model is basically where you are renting a small room or a suite or a chair or a bed in a salon. You pay a fixed rent to that owner and you go in and work. That's basically like renting an apartment. You could be part time or full time. Now, the pros of renting a space, it gives you complete autonomy over your business, meaning you are able to do whatever you want to do within your own business. Obviously, you'll have to follow the laws of that particular salon etiquettes, but you will still have the liberty to bring your clients wherever you want to bring in. You want to work late, you work late, you work less, you want to take time off, you can take time off. You can set your own prices, which is a plus. You can design your own space according to your brand, which is also, entering into your own business form. And then you keep all the profits from your services. So you're not sharing this with the owner. It's not an employee base. You're not giving them any commission. Plus, you'll have the freedom to customize your schedule and services to meet the needs of your client. So, if a client wants something else that you also perform and the business might not have that, you can still perform it. So, one of the things with employee and commission based that they have their own set menu, so you're only able to perform what the set menu offers. But for example, if it's a hair salon and you rent a room in there, you can do your permanent makeup in there. However, if you were a commission model or an employee model, then the owner of that salon will decide what services can you offer and how you can just market for that. So there is more freedom, there's obviously more autonomy, and there's obviously more you can do to your prices, and you can start setting up your brand. Now, the cons for renting a space is significantly different as opposed to the employee and commission base. As a renter, you are responsible for all the upfront investment, including rent, utilities, equipment. You're bearing full responsibility of marketing, client retention, and administrative tasks. So you are your own boss, you are your own employee, you're your own marketing person, your own janitor, your own scheduler, your own front desk. So you're juggling with all of that. Whereas in an employee model or a commission model, the owner of the salon is doing the marketing, the owner of the salon is doing the scheduling, is making sure the salon's clean. So it takes away a lot on those aspects. But as a rental model, you are the person doing everything on your own. And these are the cons, but I have seen that over the last 10 years, there's a lot of renters that are out here trying to figure out, and I think that's a very courageous thing is to get into renting right away. But in every stage of your career, you can decide and choose what's best for you. Sometimes, if you're in an entry point, it's best to work as an employee and gain some experience and know how of a salon setting. If you've never worked in a salon, I think that's the best thing to do. And then, if you think that you are able to take more clients and more confidently deal with it, maybe switch to commission model. And as you start building your client base and getting more referrals from commission model to a rental model, so you can use all three of them in your career, or you can stay an employee if you like, or you can stay a commission model if you like, or I personally think that rental model brings in the most cash. It is very lucrative and brings most cash into the business. So I think that is one of the final destinations that a lot of artists resort to at some point in their career. When I had the salons, a lot of my employees stayed with me for 6 months to 8 months to a year, and some even stayed 4 or 5 years. One of my employees stayed with me for 7 years, and ultimately they all leave and they will go and figure out either rental or commission. I hardly doubt anybody went on commission. Most of them went on their own and opened up their business. And that is the ultimate dream of an artist, is to have your own business. This is why we get into this business, is to learn all of these techniques, all of these services, figure out the business, figure out your branding, figure out your education, and apply that in your own business. It might take some time for you to get there. So hang in there, my friend. And ultimately, choosing the right model is all up to you. The best business model for your PMU career depends on individual goals, preferences, and circumstances. Take time to assess your priorities, consider your financial situation, and research your options thoroughly before making a decision. Whether you choose to be an employee, work in commission, or rent a space, remember there's no one size fits all solution in this world of PMU. Each model has its own advantages and challenges, and the key to find is one that aligns with your goals and values as a professional. I hope you found this discussion helpful in navigating the different business models available to PMU artists. Join me next time for more insights, tips, and inspiration to fuel your PMU journey. So don't be afraid to let your light shine bright. Join me next time for more adventures, more discoveries, and more moments of pure enchantment. Until then, my friend, Stay fierce, keep slaying, my darling. Mwah.